daddies. Welcome to Same But Different.
This is Derek.
This is Philip.
Wow, episode 4.
It's our usual segment called Daddy Issues, where this pair of daddies take issues with a particular topic that we've discussed before in our previous episodes. Let's go back to pop culture.
Nice,
Yep.
yes, let's do that.
Specifically, a pop culture that we are loving
Yes.
and living rent-free in our heads. We are talking about RuPaul's Drag Race, RPDR.
Yes, you're a winner, baby.
How did it come to our mind, RPDR?
I think we have to go all the way back when we talked about the music episode, when we talked about RuPaul Charles, the first international model of the world, and how she brought consciousness to the world of drag. Our history with the show itself actually goes way back.
We started off with RuPaul as a personality, and then after that, it kind of died down until it came into our consciousness again through memes.
What are these fabulous memes of drag queens saying shady shit?
Like the shade, back rows. Yeah, so all of these memes got us curious and it made us want to watch the show that's behind the memes.
Officially, RuPaul Drag Race is not shown in Singapore on any form of legitimate channel.
We have our means, which we will not disclose here.
I think I was exposed to RPDR from season 4 or 5 onwards, and then I went back to watch seasons 1 to 3, and then there's just no turning back.
I'm more of a late bloomer. I think I only started from season 10 onwards.
We have different starting points, but here we are, loving RuPaul's Drag Race, the US edition.
When we say RPDR, we reference it to the US version. We'll talk more about the other international franchises. We cannot deny the fact and the force that RPDR reigned upon pop culture.
Yes, and of course, even in terms of daily life, you have all these words: slay,
Mama,
eat, no crumbs,
yes, slay the house down, boots,
right?
All of this.
Beast.
Yeah, beast. All of these different pop culture references. And of course, it also dabbles a bit into the ballroom culture,
Correct.
which is intertwined with the whole drag culture.
Correct. Drag artists, they are more prominent in the ballroom scene, so it's only to be expected that the lingo that they use in the ballroom scene gets translated into the drag scene, and after that, subsequently, with the popularity of drag, into everyday life.
The show is so popular, RPDR, that they're going to have season 18 out on January 2nd, 2026.
That's correct. We are definitely going to look forward to that.
Other than RPDR, there's also RPDR Live, there's DragCon, there's the Vegas shows. It has become a machinery in itself.
That's good news. Whereas drag artists used to be seen as basically transsexuals, offering sexual services at street corners, they have become legitimate performers.
Just like every other performers who are singing live, dancing, slaying the house down boots,
Yes.
All they have evolved to be one of the mainstream performing arts.
At least within the context of RPDR Live in Vegas, we all know that the Vegas live shows are always only anchored by Celine Dion and all the big pop cultural names. So for drag queens to actually have a regular night in a huge venue, that just says how far the art form has come.
Yeah, the star power that comes with it, right?
For sure.
And this entertainment have also given rise to having the show going around the world.
That's correct. I mean, something this good can't just be contained in the US, right?
It has traveled even to Singapore before.
So
yeah.
Singapore has seen more than a few of these drag race live events. We even have individual shows like Bianca Del Rio. Lady Bunny was literally in Singapore a couple of months ago, playing, by the way, not in a gay club, but in a hotel bar.
So all of this awareness of drag as an art form,
Correct.
we would like to argue that perhaps it's not that new in our part of the world.
Certainly not.
If you talk about drag as a cultural form, right,
form.
it has always existed.
In this case, we're talking about, if we're saying cultural form, do we mean cross-dressing?
If we want to be strict about it, right, Chinese opera
Yeah.
is a form of cross-dressing.
It is traditionally seen for men to be dressed as the female lead. It's a norm.
If you want to go down that route, yes, cross-dressing is in our culture. Performance art that has historical roots, right? Not just in Japan, Korea, China, Hong Kong. There's also Taiwan, and specifically in Southeast Asia, there's Thailand, there's Philippines, Singapore.
Why only these three markets in Southeast Asia, Philip?
Well, unfortunately, the rest of the Southeast Asia countries like Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, they have their religious leanings,
Yes.
which strongly discourages the art form of men dressing up as women.
I'm pretty sure there are some, Philip, but you're right. From a pop cultural hedonistic aspect, it's too haram girl,
Yes, it goes against the religious teachings.
of course.
So, well, there are drag
Right, yeah.
in these Muslim countries. It's just that they tend to be a bit more underground.
Right. So, of course, in these parts of the world, we really can't avoid talking about drag without mentioning lady boys in the same way. In the same way, although they are two very separate things. Drag
Yes.
is cross-dressing, men dressing up as women, or drag kings. Women
Yep.
dressing up as men. In Thailand, the idea of lady boys, they are transsexuals.
Yep. We can explore what we have here in Singapore
Yeah.
because it is more relevant
For
to
sure.
us.
Yes.
So, in the early days of Singapore, there are lady boys,
For sure.
transsexuals,
Yes.
cross dressers,
Yes.
and they have all been lumped under this slur called aqua.
I have a fun story to share here. So back in the day during my national service, I was in the commandos. Of course, the Hendon camp is in the east part of Singapore. We are fairly near to Changi Village, and the car park in the late 80s, early 90s is notorious to be the hangout joints of aquans. Men who dress as women, looking for other men who have specific preferences for men dressing up as women.
Aqua, which is a derogatory slur,
Yes.
encapsulates everything.
That's correct. And I think in said car park in Changi Village, you really do see everything. You have men dressing up as women, transsexuals, and everything else in between.
I would say mostly those two, because even though gays were also called aquas,
Yes.
very colloquially, they are
At the other beach, East Coast, specifically for road.
all right, territorial much.
You play in your playground, I play in mine.
Never the twain shall meet.
Back in the day, drag queens, specifically transsexuals, they were quote-unquote creatures of the night. They were never seen in the day, and even within the gay community, we shun them, we spit on them.
It was a time when femininity is frowned upon because masculinity was and still is the favorite currency. So in the gay community, when it comes to drag, it's always been frowned upon, yeah? And I would say that because of Drag Race, we were able to give it more visibility, to bring it out to the light, so to speak.
I think fast forward from the Changi Village car parks of the 90s and 2000s, we have definitely seen the drag scene in Singapore develop leaps and bounds. We have our local developments, don't we, Philip?
It started off, I believe, with Boom Boom Room
Yeah.
and the iconic Miss Kumar.
Is she mother?
She is definitely mother, if not grandmother. I would believe she was the one who kind of spearheaded drag, or specifically comedy in drag. Okay?
Because yes, she is presenting as herself in public.
Yes.
And yes, you're right. Early drag, once it goes past the salacious, the dirty, the unmentionable, often is dipped into this context of comedy.
Because of the greater awareness that's growing from RPDR,
Yes.
we also see that drag queens can also sing, they can also dance, they can shablam, they
they
can
should.
death drop.
Should they?
Good question. Should they?
Should all drag queens be able to act, sing, perform, swallow fire and sword and because that's precisely how drag queens on RuPaul's Drag Race are judged. You have to be a fucking entertainment powerhouse.
Let's hold that thought and then we'll continue it after talking about the development of Singapore drag. From comedy, it's kind of evolved into a form of nightlife entertainment. Another alternative option, pun intended, where we have one of the granddonians of drag, Becca DeBus.
Yes, she's actually a performance artist first. In recent 5-8 years, she has a regular night at the Hard Rock Cafe. She actually does perform as a drag artist. So Becca DeBus captured our attention outside of Kumar and her comedy lah.
You mentioned that there were also drag queen contests before.
Yes. This would be definitely more recent, definitely post-COVID. We will have some of these drag houses, very much following the US idea of drag mothers, your drag children, and drag houses would compete because we don't have the franchise. We can't call it drag race, but these are small scale, at least within Singapore, nationwide competition against drag houses and or independent drag artists.
And one of the most positive development that we can see was the opening of our first drag bar called Tuck Shop.
Yes, we liked the place, didn't we, Philip?
For 15 minutes.
Yes.
Because it's too small and too crowded.
We're not hating on the queens. We're just saying that the spatial design needed a bit of work.
As with a lot of bars on the road, the neighborhood, it is a fire hazard.
Yes.
So we are glad that it opened and closed.
Shut. Yes.
And then it reopened again recently
Yay!
at Oxley Towers. We shall be paying a visit soon.
Yes, the drag queens need to make their coins.
I'm sure they do.
And on that point, whenever we go to drag shows, one of our pet peeves, Philip, what is it?
Nobody tips the drag queens.
I know, right? It's like, well, okay, when Philip and I visit Bangkok, for example, Pangina Hills and the House of Heels, you do see a very active and concerted effort by the drag queens after every performance to go around and collect tips. Like, whether people tip or not doesn't matter, but at least I think we've seen enough positive examples of people who do tip. So, but in Singapore, good God,
those bitches could death drop to their literal death. And nobody's going to take any money out of their wallet or even scan the QR code.
But of course, that said, how much of it is really just us not tipping performers? Because even Go-Go Boys, the audience also don't tip.
Yes, we are just bad tippers.
I know.
Blame it on the culture. We don't tip. We don't have a tipping culture here.
I know.
It's all included in the 10% service charge, right?
I know, right? So yes, it's not cheap to look that expensive.
That is true. Consider this our PSA. Tip your drag queen.
We have been talking about the modern day development of drag culture for the past 10 to 15 years. And then here we are, we thought, the first drag only bar opening, and that's the pinnacle of drag success.
With mainstream media, we also got success with 2 different drag movies.
Yes.
Yep. Number 1 and number 2, starring Mark Lee and The Good Child, starring Richie Koh, but the story is based on one of our friends, Semijan.
So I think that, at least as of now, I think really brings drag to the forefront and as an art form, as a way to express individual identity. Is this peak? Have we hit peak drag?
That is the daddy issues that we have today.
That's correct, Philip. We are having an issue with where's the peak drag in Singapore?
Look, the argument is that with RPDR, some drag queens over on that hemisphere
Yep.
has commented that drag is being destroyed by RPDR.
There was one of those TikTok videos where I think it was Bob the drag queen telling queens to stop accepting invites for Versus the World, the Versus the World franchise. His personal opinion is that there's no need to pitch drag queens from very different cultures against each other. If drag queens stop accepting those invitations, that franchise will die. Bob the drag queen did win. She is a winner, baby. You know, so for her to comment on that means she sees already some cracks and fissures in this thing called RPDR and how it's affecting drag culture in the US.
The point that you brought up about international franchises is also very real because every single country have their own drag culture, which might not adhere to what the US audiences might expect out of quote unquote a drag queen.
I mean, if we were to count on our fingers, which are the international ones that we have watched, Thailand, Philippines, UK, Down Under, Spain, France, and Canada, you have different contestants from different parts of the world, right? So 7 different international franchises, I would say 7 different ways of thinking about drag.
And all of them are valid.
Exactly.
Because the humor that you can get out of a Filipino drag queen is going to be totally lost by a drag queen in Thailand.
Or the UK for that matter.
Correct, because when it comes to the UK drag queen, they have their own sense of humor, which is deeply rooted in the English sensibilities.
Correct. So within that context, then yes, a Down Under drag queen may find a strong audience with a in the UK franchise and vice versa, but that's as far as it goes, right? International franchises don't mix very well.
Another argument why they are saying that drag RPDR is destroying drag because of the political climate.
Yes.
I believe they have gotten too big, so much so that the conservatives are blaming them.
Yeah, for all the ills of society. And to be honest, there was a point where there were 4 franchises to watch
At the same time.
and,
My goodness.
I think it was US, Canada, UK,
And All Stars or
and
something.
All Stars or something. So yes, we do agree at one point there is too much drag race.
It's a universal truth that anything that's too much, there's going to be a bit of a rebound.
Backlash.
But somehow, with other countries, it creates a greater visibility.
That's
like
true.
in Singapore.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
in the rest of Europe, largely unscathed.
That idea of RPDR leading to a singularization of drag culture was a uniquely US debate slash discussion, whereas for us, I think we are looking at it from a totally different perspective, and that's our central issue that can Singapore drag get better?
To be fair, we are coming at this from a consumer's perspective.
We are not drag performers ourselves, and we are commenting on this purely as people who watch.
I would say we definitely have a lot more room for improvement when it comes to drag, at least here in Singapore.
Correct. To this point, right, let's go deeper into the issue. What more do we want to see out of our local drag queens? I, for one, Derek, would love to see more comedy queens.
Okay.
Yes, I think right now our girls are slaying it, eating it up, no crumbs when it comes to...
The looks and the lip sync starting.
Yes, they are serving looks. The mug is snatched. So all that good. Comedy is something that I'm not seeing so much of. At least no one's standing out as the comedy queen, so to speak.
Comedy is hard to do, you know that, right?
Exactly. So I think whoever can step into Kuma's stilettos would be the next comedy queen.
I'm not sure she's wearing stilettos now at her age.
Kuma's kitty heels.
I do agree. Comedy is a area that can be grown. I, for one, would say that talent. I'm not saying that the queens now are talentless. They could
Hot
be.
take.
They could be more talented.
Multifaceted talent.
I would say entertain us more.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because some queens we know, not naming names, for lack of a better term, one-trick ponies.
Yeah, we call them the park and bark.
Yes, they are not the ones who are subliming and cut across stage. No, no, ma'am. They are just lip syncing, moving from stage left to stage right. They are definitely emoting. They are definitely doing the song a service. But yeah, let's have a little bit more.
All drag is valid.
More drag is valid, bitch.
All right. So on that note, I think we've come to the end of our episode.
Yes, we have expressed our issue with drag in Singapore, and we definitely hope to see something more.
Tell us about your experience with drag. Do you like to watch drag?
Do you like to go to a drag queen bar?
Let us know.
Yes.
At the same time, do remember to click like
Subscribe.
and to share this content with all of your friends.
Correct. Your comments will help us refine and shape future episodes, and really just have a discussion with your friends. Share this with whoever in your life also likes drag.
We've come to the end of this episode with
Daddy issues, yeah.
This has been Philip,
This is Derek.
signing off. Bye.